there friends, Rebecca here, the Dragon Librarian from Farmington Community Library, and I'm here to talk to you about a really awesome book that I read recently that I think is just absolutely beautiful and wonderful and fun and funny, and I think that you guys would love it as well. So I wanted to talk about it and hype it up a little bit, and it's actually called Better Than Fiction by Alexa Martin. Cute cover, Better Than Fiction. This was actually one that I kind of wanted to talk about during my Valentine's Day book readings because it does have a little bit of romance in it, but I didn't at that point because I don't really consider it a romance book, mostly because while there is romance in it and it is one of the main storylines, I think that the main plot is just so much bigger than that. That it really just deserves its own introduction. So it's not really specifically only a romance, although it does have romance in it. I would consider this more of like a finding yourself story, a coming into yourself story, a family story, and just an all-around beautiful story of like learning to love yourself and learning to love your life. So what is it about? So this is about a woman named Drew who has just lost her grandmother recently, which is a big blow to her because her grandmother raised her. She's got a really great relationship with her. And she's also struggling because when her grandmother died, she left her the bookstore that she ran. And Drew is not a book lover. She's not a fan of books. I love the trope, and I've seen it so many times it might as well be a trope. I don't know if it's an official one, but like the reluctant bookstore owner, right? So she has this bookstore. She's not a reader at all. She doesn't really know what she's doing, but she wants to honor her grandmom's legacy. So she's really, really trying to make it work. So incoming, the best characters in the entire story, which is this old ladies book club that meets at the store, and they were really good friends with her grandma, and they are just 5 of the naughtiest, most mischievous old lady characters you will ever meet, and they are glorious. I love them so much and wish that they were real because I want them in my life. They are awesome. So they start to meddle because that's one of the things they love to do, is they love to meddle, and they see how Drew is struggling and they want to try to help her out. So they enlist this and get in contact with this really popular romance author named Jasper. They get him to come to the bookstore to host this like book signing and stuff for a couple different reasons. One, because he's super popular and it will bring in a big crowd, and also because they're trying to matchmake him with Drew. Well, he is a completely different personality than her. He is super romantic, believes in happily ever afters. He's really positive minded, and she is more just like kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop all the time. So once he goes to the store and they have this event, they start talking a little bit, and he enlists her to help him with this like Denver bucket list, because that's where he's writing his new book, and that's where the story is taking place, in Denver. So he says, I really could use somebody to help show me around the city and show me all these great spots to help me write this book. And she's like, all right, I guess. So they do all kinds of different stuff, from like river rafting to like different restaurants and stuff like that. And of course, as you might imagine, they start to grow closer and feelings start to happen. But amongst all this other stuff happening, there's a lot of trouble at the bookstore as well, because Drew has her father, who is kind of a huge jerk and left her when she was little, started this other family, is really mad that the bookstore wasn't left to him, and because he wants to sell it and get the money for it. So he's doing everything in his power to try to wrestle this bookstore away from Drew, who just wants to hold on to it and make it do well because of how much she loves her grandma. So also in the story, in the picture, is the father's, from his second family, his other daughter, who is a really sweet person and just wants to have a great relationship with Drew, and Drew just does not want to let her in, for obvious reasons. So there's that relationship as well, and the sister is now living in the city and wants to have this great relationship with Drew, and Drew is very reluctant. So there's a lot of family drama and stuff going on with that as well. But it's also, like I said, while the romance and the love part of the story were so great, I think the main selling point of this book is Drew's journey, and how she goes from just being, feeling this way about her grandmom and about the store and not really caring about it, to really wanting it to succeed and just, you know, starting to love it and starting to love herself and starting to just like pick the pieces of her life back up so that she can move on. And, you know, basically that is really all her grandmother wanted, was for her to be happy. And she gives her the means to do that, which she didn't really know until, you know, she gets through a lot of the story. So really great book. I really highly, and there's a lot packed into that, right? For a book that's not very long. It's like barely 300 pages, I think. Yeah, it's just 300 pages. So there's a lot of story packed into this little book. But it's absolutely wonderful. And I highly recommend it. If you like books that have a lot of different things going on, you know, family stuff and romance and character growth and development, I thought Drew was just a really awesome character. And I was really rooting for her throughout this whole book. And it was wonderful. So this is Better Than Fiction. And I would also highly recommend it for people who are fans of books about books, which of course I am, even though she's a reluctant bookstore owner at first. This book is a total love letter to books and bookstores. So if you love those types of stories, this is a great one for you. Better Than Fiction. Well, that's what we've got for you guys today. I hope that that this book sounds really awesome and that you're just as interested to read it as I am excited to talk about it. So please feel free to pick it up from Farmington Community Library, and thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of the day.